Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through complex strategies, source material, and case studies to pull out the insights you can actually use. Today we're looking at the architecture of modern content success, specifically personality-driven stuff. We're doing a deep dive using Ryan Trahan's channel as a case study, the mission, to figure out how creators like him balance the, real authenticity with just aggressive growth tactics. Okay, so let's unpack this. We've got analyses here talking about how this channel grew so huge. What's the absolute bedrock, the starting point?
Well, it really seems to be the personal brand, but maybe more specifically, the transparency, using his actual name. That's actually pretty fascinating when you dig into it. The sources treat this name choice as like the anchor for trust.
His real name. How does that anchor trust more than, say, a cool channel name?
Because you're building equity in a person, not just a handle or a concept. It feels more permanent, maybe, more direct. It just, lowers that barrier. You feel like you're connecting with a person, not just watching a show. Makes it instantly relatable.
That makes a lot of sense. Easier to connect with Ryan than Awesome Vids. And the branding itself, it's described as simple, right? Approachable.
Yeah, simple, approachable, low barrier, like you said, clean visuals.
But I noticed something strategic the sources highlighted. The visuals get updated regularly. Why is that constant refreshing, even if it's subtle, so important?
Because consistency isn't the same as being static.
Right.
On a platform like YouTube, things move so fast. You need to signal you're active, you're relevant, both to viewers and, frankly, to the algorithm. So updating the look slightly for a new big series, like, say, changing the banner for a big charity drive, it keeps things fresh.
Without losing the core identity.
Exactly. It makes the channel feel like this ongoing journey you're part of, not just some archive you dip into. Keeps it dynamic.
Okay, let's shift gears to the content itself. Great personality is one thing, but you need a plan, a structure. The sources identify 3 main types of content he uses.
Yeah, 3 pillars, basically. You've got the challenges, the storytelling, vlogs, and collaborations. And what's neat is how each one serves a pretty specific purpose, either for the audience or for the algorithm.
Let's zoom in on challenges first. These seem like the big tent poles. High stakes, visually engaging, like the penny challenge, living on basically nothing for a month.
Yeah, those are iconic. And they're inherently suspenseful.
But they're not just one-off videos, are they? How are they strategically set up for growth?
Right, this is key. They're almost always structured as multi-video series, usually with cliffhangers. It's not just about getting you to click the next video. It's about engineering a whole viewing session.
A session? You mean getting people to watch multiple videos back to back?
Exactly. The YouTube algorithm really rewards session time, way more than just single views. So if you break a big challenge into maybe 5 parts, you massively increase the chance someone watches for it, like 30, 40 minutes straight.
So the series format is kind of an optimization tool disguised as storytelling?
You could say that.
Yeah.
It uses narrative tension setbacks, plot twists, to keep you clicking. That's what makes it binge-worthy. It's hard to stop.
Okay, interesting. Then the second pillar, storytelling vlogs. These seem to blend humor, vulnerability, adventure. If challenges grab the algorithm, what do these do?
These build the deeper connection, the emotional investment. You see the creator struggling a bit, not just the wins. There's a lot of self-deprecating humor, vulnerability. And strategically, that makes the creator feel more human, more relatable. It lowers the distance between the viewer and the star, so to speak.
So viewers might be more forgiving of little flaws because it feels authentic.
Precisely. It reinforces that feeling of authenticity.
Yeah.
Makes the whole thing feel less transactional.
And this isn't just for fun content. The sources point to the St. Jude's fundraiser series, raising money for a whole month. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. That campaign was a perfect example. It showed how you can use that challenge format for something really meaningful. It cemented his reputation, showed purpose beyond just views, and it probably broadened the audience appeal quite a bit.
And likely made any later monetization feel more earned.
Definitely. It builds goodwill, which is invaluable long-term.
Okay. And the third pillar, collaborations. Why bring others in when the channel already has so much momentum?
Well, a couple of reasons. First, it's just smart tactics. Cross-pollination. It's the easiest way to get in front of new but similar audiences, people who might like your stuff but haven't found you.
Makes sense. New eyeballs.
And second, it fights off stagnation, honestly. Bringing in fresh energy, different ideas.
Yeah.
It keeps the creator interested, keeps the content varied, prevents burnout for everyone, really, audience included.
Right. Let's get tactical now. Execution. The sources really stress how vital thumbnails and titles are. Like, strategy is great, but the click needs to happen.
Oh, absolutely. This is the science bit. And for thumbnails, it's all about mobile-first thinking. You need bright visuals, clear, expressive faces. The emotion has to hit you instantly. And crucially, minimal text.
Minimal text. Why is that?
Because you're scrolling on a tiny screen. If you can't understand the vibe or read the text in, like half a second, you've lost the click. Clean backgrounds help too. Clarity is everything.
So the face tells the story, mostly, not the words. Got it. And titles. They're described as this balance of curiosity and clarity, like that I survived 30 days on 0011 cents. How does that formula work?
Yeah, that's a classic example. The formula is basically high stakes plus specific challenge plus time frame. It tells you exactly what the core concept is. Survived on 001 cents, so there's no confusion. But the sheer specificity, the 001 cent, makes you wonder how. That's the curiosity hook. It demands the click to find out the method.
Okay, clear concept, intriguing detail. What about production? It's high quality, but the sources say it's intentionally not overproduced. Why that distinction? Why not make it look like a movie?
Good question. It ties back to trust, I think. High quality shows you care, you've invested. But overproduction, super slick, hyper stylized, that can sometimes feel artificial, maybe scripted. It can create distance.
So the vibe is more high quality reality than polished commercial.
Exactly. High quality, low polish is a good way to put it. The filming is good, the audio is clear, but the editing feels energetic, not just glossy. Lots of quick cuts to keep the pace up.
And pacing is crucial for YouTube, right? Retention is king.
Absolutely. Especially those first, 30 seconds. That's the danger zone where people click away. So the editing in the intro is usually super tight. Quick cuts, sound effects, music cues, all designed to grab you and hold you through that initial drop-off point.
So every second is engineered to keep you watching.
Pretty much. If the video keeps energy high early on, the algorithm sees that, assumes people are hooked, and then it pushes the video out more. It's editing for attention span.
It's like the relaxed feel is a carefully constructed illusion powered by tight editing.
Okay, moving beyond the video itself, the community, we talk about emotional investment. How does he actually build that connection with millions of people?
A lot of it comes down to just making the audience feel seen. And the humor helps. It's relatable, self-deprecating, never punching down. That creates an inclusive vibe. Plus, he actively responds to comments, sometimes incorporates viewer ideas into challenges. That makes people feel like they're actually part of the journey, not just passive viewers. Creates a feedback loop.
That makes sense. And what about calls to action? Asking people to subscribe, like, etc. The sources say they're very subtle. How does that work?
Yeah, they're integrated really organically, which is smart. If you're deep into a high-stakes challenge, the last thing you want is a jarring, smash that subscribe button moment. It breaks the immersion.
Right, it feels like an ad. Exactly. So instead, the CTAs are often tied to the narrative. Like, if we hit X subscribers, we can finally attempt this crazy next challenge. It makes subscribing feel like contributing to the shared goal, not just a demand. It's way more effective long-term for building loyalty.
Let's talk strategy long-term and monetization. How does a channel like this keep growing and funding itself?
This is where it all has to sync up. He's clearly aware of trends, what's working on the platform, but he always adds his own unique spin, right? That's crucial for standing out. And the monetization, like sponsorships or merch, feels very integrated. It's not random.
Oh, so?
Well, the sponsors often make sense within the context of the challenge or the brand. If he's doing a travel challenge, maybe a travel-related sponsor fits naturally, or the merch ties in to inside jokes from the videos. It feels less like an ad break and more like part of the story's resources, almost.
So the money supports the content rather than interrupting it.
Precisely. And that maintains the trust, which allows for bigger, more ambitious projects funded by that revenue. It becomes this positive feedback loop, the flywheel effect people talk about. Good content gets retention. Retention drives revenue. Revenue funds better content.
Okay, so if we synthesize all this, if someone watching wants to build their own thing, what are the absolute core strengths? What's the blueprint boil down to?
I think it's really a mix. You've got authenticity, but like strategic authenticity, using vulnerability effectively. Then consistent branding that still feels fresh. That structure for binge watching the multi-part series, and just a really solid tactical understanding of YouTube itself. Pacing, thumbnails, titles, the mechanics.
But it can't just stay the same forever. Right. What opportunities for growth or evolution do the sources point to? Where could it go next?
Well, the analyses suggest pushing boundaries. Maybe exploring content that isn't strictly a challenge format, seeing what else resonates. Expanding live interaction could be big, too, for that real-time connection.
Yeah.
And just continuing to innovate to stay unique. It's a crowded space.
So always balancing the creative risk with that deep strategic knowledge.
Exactly. The strategy provides the safety net for taking those bigger creative swings, allows for growth without alienating the core audience.
So we've really mapped out how these deliberate choices, small and large thumbnail design, editing pace, how you ask for subscribers, it all works together to create this powerful, sustainable growth engine.
Yeah, it really demonstrates that just having a great personality, while important, isn't enough on its own. Success like this comes when basically every single element is optimized. Optimized to attract people, keep them watching, and grow that audience, almost like a science.
Okay, here's a final thought for you to consider. We heard how powerful multi-video series are for boosting watch time. So how much of content strategy now is less about finding that one viral hit and more about engineering these pathways? Designing content specifically to make sure you watch not just one video, but the next 3. Think about the narrative hooks, the open loops creators leave you with deliberately. Something to chew on. Until next time.